Hey guys, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing my fall TBR slash hopefuls. Knowing myself, I won't get through all of these books, but these are the books that are kind of on my radar and also can kind of give you guys some suggestions for things that I think are going to be really good, cozy fall reads. So we're just going to go over some romances and some fantasies and just talk about books today. But without further ado, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my TikTok. I'm very active on there. And let's get into my little fall slash autumn TBR. Okay, so we're gonna start with romances. I have just a few. I think I have like 10 or so books on this list, so nothing too crazy long. I have been going through basically a year-long reading slump, so we're struggling a little bit, but you know what? Nevertheless, we're gonna make a little TBR because who doesn't like to at least have some ideas of things to get them inspired for the cozy season that is the prime time to read. So without further ado, first we have a reread, and that is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I am currently listening to the audiobook for The Long Way Home, which is the third book in this series. I don't know if I'm going to physically read this one or do another audiobook, but this is one of my all-time favorite series ever, and I just want to keep rereading it. This is my favorite book in the entire series. She's fully annotated. I have a whole bunch of this book, but I just love this series so much, and I just thought it would be fun to do a reread, maybe kind of spark my love for reading again. I feel like that's the perfect way to kind of get out of a slump, so I would love to finish my reread. This next one was super popular at the beginning of this year, and I just never got into it. I never got to it, but I've heard so many amazing things and I want to read it. So we have The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This book literally like broke the internet at the beginning of this year. It was everywhere. From my understanding, it's about these two figure skaters who are like partners, and it's like interview style writing. So they like are writing either a book or a movie or something about them and kind of like what really led to their downfall. So it kind of gives Daisy Jones and the Six writing style vibes, but I've heard this is really good. It's very heartbreaking, very like grabs you and just keeps your attention. So I want to get into this at some point. I've heard so many amazing things and I feel FOMO because I still have not read it yet. Next, we have People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. This is a new release. I think this came out in September, but it is like very fall vibes. It says, in this sexy and emotional romance from the acclaimed author of Autumn and Limb, a small town woman's journey to spread her wings intertwines with the arrival of an adventurous newcomer who brings out the best in her. So, I mean, literally just look at the cover. It's so fall coded, but once again, I've heard really good things about Hannah Bonham Young. I have multiple of her books and I just haven't read them yet, but I really want to try this one out, see if I like it, see how I feel about her writing. It's giving cozy small town vibes, which is perfect for the fall time, so I am very excited about this one. Next on our list, we have If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I've heard amazing things about this book. I've heard so many people love and rave about it. This was so hard for me to get my hands on. I don't know why. It was like on retailers and then completely gone. You couldn't find it anywhere. So I finally was able to get my hands on it and I'm really excited. Everybody says this kind of gives like Gilmore Girl vibes. So this says, my new next door neighbor Cliff seems to have everything figured out. Small town golden boy, check. Single dad extraordinaire, check. Hot baker forearms, I didn't notice them, I swear. I, on the other hand, don't at all have anything figured out. Trust me, I didn't think taking over my mom's dream bed and breakfast in Cooper Run, Vermont was going to be easy. It should be a good place to heal after my divorce, but apparently my scones belong in the garbage with my small talk skills, as pointed out by none other than Cliff. Cliff is inescapable. He knows exactly what people need always. His charm, the way he wears flannel, and even his pastries make not wanting to be friends with Cliff and his daughters pretty hard. Friends, I can make friends. That's safe. Except I'm leaving in 3 months to pass the inn off to my little sister and get the promotion in Seattle I've been working toward. So ask me why I'm thinking about kissing my hot neighbor. Heard really good things. She's like an inn owner and he is a baker, owns his own bakery, single dad, small town, Gilmore Girls, like Stars Hollow. You're speaking my language. I love Gilmore Girls. So this cover is everything and it's giving me all the fall cozy vibes that I really need. So I'm very excited about this one. Last on our romance list, we have the OG Twilight. I have read, I think, the first 2 or 3 books of Twilight when I was much younger. It's been a very long time, and so I've been wanting to do a reread. I think it's the perfect time of year for this, and luckily these are on KU if you're a Kindle girly. I think I'm probably gonna read them on Kindle. When I'm going through a reading slump, I find it a lot easier to read a Kindle book, so it's the perfect time. I love the Twilight movies with my whole entire being. I have always been a Twilight girly this time of year. I have them on in the background on loop, so I'm very excited to do a little read of this series. And obviously Eclipse is like perfect for this time of year, and I just like need to get through these books. Like I just want to devour them, so I'm really excited to have this on my list. We have another classic, and that's none other than Harry Potter. I have never read these books. I love the movies so much. I am actually currently reading Manacled, which if you don't know, that's like a fanfic kind of vibe based off of the ending of Harry Potter, like with a twist. So I've never read the books, but I have always wanted to. They're super short, and since they are YA, like I do think I could get through this in like 2 sittings. I don't think it would take me very long, but they're very cozy vibes, very like fall winter-esque, so I definitely want to give this a shot and see if I like the writing. I know we don't support this author. I know she's like not a good author person, whatever, but I already have them. I want to read them, and I might as well. Next, we have another book that I've been seeing really good things about, and that's Direbound by Sable Sorensen. I actually don't have really any idea what this is about, but I've heard really good things. This says, only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. So I'm assuming it's like romantic-y vibes. Obviously there are some trials, dueling, you need to bond, like I don't know. Sounds like a cup of tea that like I would really like, so I'm very excited about this one. I definitely need to try it out and just see what all the hype's about, because I've seen so many good things. She is very thick. She's almost 600 pages, so this one probably will take me a while, but I do think that this is supposed to be a trilogy if I'm not mistaken. It looks like the second one is out, so I need to get into this. Like I need trials and romantasy and fantasy and danger and this, that, and the other, and cliffhangers. Like I need that. So Direbound. Then we have one that's been on my TBR before, and that is City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. I want to read this series so bad, but it is so thick. Like this book is over 700 pages, and that is really just intimidating as someone who's, like I said, going through a reading slump. These are luckily on KU, so that's definitely how I'm going to be reading them, but I want to get into this. It says, Lauren Calla has only ever been ordinary. As a human struggling to survive in a city that caters to the needs of vampires, werewolves, witches, and other supernatural creatures, she always assumed her life would remain simple, predictable, and as safe as her world would allow, until she barely escapes abduction at the hands of Dark Slayers, supernatural bounty hunters that possess the sight, a magical tracking ability that allows them to see a person's aura, and one of her friends is taken in her place. The abductors are demanding a ransom. Lauren's life in exchange for her friend's safe return. Lauren will do whatever it takes to get her friend back, even if it means accepting help from Darien Castle, the leader of the Seven Devils, the most feared dark slaying circle in this city. So I think that this is going to be like an enemies to lovers vibe. Like, he's the bad boy that you're not supposed to like, and he's all dark and mysterious and brooding, and you fall for him. That's what I'm getting. But I've heard so many good things, and I just need to know what's in these pages. I just want to know. So we have The City of Gods and Monsters. This is a finished series. Book 4 came out earlier this year. So okay, next we have Alchemize by Senlin Yu. Like I said, am currently reading Manacled, and this is the like traditionally published version of Manacled. So like this is kind of more of like on my like later fall winter TBR after I get through Manacled and have some time to like sit on it, and then I can read this after. But I know that this book has taken over the internet. It has taken over me, myself, and I as well. I do have 5 editions of this book now. I have signed editions, I have regular editions, I have special editions. Like, I just have it all. Because when I know I'm going to love something, I hyper fixate on it so hard. And like, it's been so hard to get my hands on the special editions. And so I just really needed to hop on the bandwagon. So I did go to a midnight release party actually for this. It was a lot of fun. They had some like games and stuff like that was really cool to do. But I'm very intrigued by this book. It is 1,000 pages. Like, this book is a brick, and I have seen so many people crying over it and laughing and loving it. So I want to be one of those people. Like, once again, I have FOMO because I want to read this, but I knew I needed to read Manacled first. Not because you have to, because they are technically like different stories, but because I just wanted to. So I'm excited to get into this at some point. Then we have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This came out a few months ago, and I do actually have a signed copy that I got from a small bookstore near me. This author is the author of One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, which I really did enjoy. I read them last fall or 2 falls ago. It was a while ago actually. I enjoyed them. I don't think it's like the best duology I've ever read, but it's very like dark, dreary vibes, which I personally enjoy. And so I've heard a lot of people really love this. It is YA fantasy. It says, Sybil has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other fondling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as the Omens. From them, she could predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the Stonewater Kingdom's windswept moors and craggy mountains to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical, and devilishly handsome, the knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside, the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. So I'm excited. She's using some very big words in there that I'm a little like, oh, what is that? But nonetheless, I am excited. I think this cover is really truly stunning, and I would like to read something that's like dark and gothic-y, and that's kind of the vibe that this is giving. I think that's perfect for fall. Next we have Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. This is her new release. I once again honestly know nothing about it, but I do have this really pretty edition of it, and I've heard some really good things about this. I think it is a like school vibe, like an academy, which personally I love anything that's like school or trials. That's kind of my thing. I just feel like the academy vibe really gives fall energy, and that's kind of what I'm personally looking for. So I am very excited to see what this one's all about. I've heard so many different things about it. So I've never read R.F. Kuang before that I can remember. So I'm excited to see like what her writing is like, because I know she's very beloved by many people. I'm pretty sure she's the author of Babel, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see how I feel. Last but not least, we have another book that was very hyped earlier this year, and that is Silver Elite by Dani Francis. This I've heard gives like Fourth Wing vibes, but better almost, which personally I do really enjoy the Fourth Wing series. I don't think it's like the best fantasy series in the entire world, but those books are very good, and when they first came out I was like a huge hard-hitting lover. So I love the dragons training academy vibe. I think there might be like a bonding or something like that. This says, in the first book of a sizzling dystopian romance series, psychic gifts are a death sentence and there are rules to survival. Trust no one. Lie to everyone, and whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. Enemies to lovers. You've got me. Like, you've got me. You don't need to say anything else. So I'm excited about this one, and I think there's gonna be some like lying and scheming and deceiving, which is perfect in my opinion. Okay guys, that is my fall TBR. I think we have some really good picks on here. A lot of them are things that I've just kind of been putting off, but I have been wanting to read. Going through reading slumps means that all of the books on your radar just keep getting pushed back farther and farther and farther. So I would really like to get into at least some of these. I definitely think If It Makes You Happy is pretty high on my mental, and then so is like Twilight and Harry Potter and Gods and Monsters. Like, those are kind of the ones I'm really looking forward to. But I think that we have a very good selection for fall cozy autumnal vibes. A little bit of gothic here, a little bit of fantasy there, and you've got me. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of these books down below, or maybe what's on your fall TBR. I love you all to the moon and Saturn. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face, and check out all my links down below, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.